Hi, it's Erica at the kitchen on Goshen Hill. I'm here today with my friend Shauna. She's just out of camera range over here sitting down.
Hi, y'all.
Shauna, what do you know about Cajun food?
Andouille, etouffee, crawfish jambalaya,
Nice.
alligator, mon chéri.
What I think of when I think of Cajun food is okra.
Oh, I love
And
okra.
that's what we've got here today, along with okra's good friends, tomatoes and corn. So what we're going to make today is okra, tomato, and corn. And it should have a cool name like succotash or mock chew, but it really just doesn't. So maybe by the time this video is over, we will have come up with a cool name. Possibly so. So what you start with your okra, you want to have pods that are ideally, let's find the best one, about 3 or 4 inches long. That's going to be tender and have a lot of flavor. But these little tiny ones are fun too.
I can have that one.
You can have, here, we'll just give that one to Shauna. What you don't want is really big ones because they're kind of woody and it's not so good. So a lot of people are not, I'm going to go ahead and start prepping these while we're talking. A lot of people are not really too into okra because they think it's slimy. But the thing is, okra is sort of magic because when you cook it, the slime comes out. But then if you keep cooking it, it actually gets kind of dry again. You can cook the slime out.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that's kind of the technique we're going to use here today. I also don't mind a little sliminess. I think it adds something to the texture that's really good. To these okra, these are going to take the longest, so I'm just going to keep talking here. To this okra, we are going to add some cherry tomatoes from my backyard that we're going to cut in quarters. And then we're going to add some frozen corn.
Frozen corn?
Frozen corn. So let's talk about this. The really good corn, the corn from Dumas, Arkansas, from Esau. It's gone. We missed the window. We waited too late in the summer. We missed the corn. So the next best choice is not the corn that came shipped from across the country that's sitting in the grocery store. The better corn would be the frozen corn because that's actually closest to its fresh, tasty version. So we're going to use frozen corn today.
That makes sense.
And I've just let it thaw out. So we'll finish prepping this okra and the tomatoes, and then we'll come back and cook this up. Okay, we're back. We've taken a little Beyonce break, and we're ready to cook. We'll start off with this big cast iron skillet. You use whatever skillet you like. And we're going to put about 2 tablespoons of butter in there and just let that melt. Get started. We have prepped the okra. We have prepped the tomatoes. And we have opened the bag of frozen corn. So when I make this dish, I like to have about equal amounts of each of the 3 vegetables. So there's about 2 cups of sliced okra, 2 cups of quartered cherry tomatoes, and about 2 cups of corn. If you don't have cherry tomatoes or you don't like cherry tomatoes, you can use whatever kind of tomato you want. It's much better if it's a fresh tomato. Certainly, this is a fresh vegetable kind of dish. But just cut them into small chunks. I'll show you here in just a minute. All right, so the okra is what we're going to put in first as this butter gets going. So here's our sliced okra. We're just going to add this in here. I like this mix of colors between the green and the red okra.
It's real pretty.
That's fine. I don't think it's going to look quite that nice once it's cooked, but it's good for now.
Is there any difference in the taste?
No.
Okay.
No, they just look different. But so I've got this over medium-high heat, and we're just going to start to sizzle a little bit. And we are just going to let this cook for a minute while Shauna tells me about her favorite Beyonce song. What's your favorite?
All the Single Ladies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you know the whole dance?
No, but I wish I did. I wish I was talented enough to do the whole dance.
You know, I wish that too because I would enjoy it a lot if you were able to do the whole dance.
Yeah. But I do like to sing along very loudly and kind of dance in my car when it comes on the radio. The best Beyonce I can be.
Have you ever seen Beyonce's Homecoming?
I have, and it's amazing.
It's the live concert from Coachella, for those of you who have not seen it.
Yes, I actually watched it on your recommendation.
Oh, you did? You listened.
Did.
That's wonderful.
Erica also makes excellent Netflix recommendations.
Oh, I mean, y'all, there is no limit to my talent. No limit. So I'm just going to put a little bit of salt on this okra. And I think I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Let's get it going. So it's not high, but it's like medium high.
Okay.
Medium high.
Yeah.
You know, something like that.
I can hear it sizzling.
Yeah. We're just going to let this cook a little bit. All right. We're pretty much here with the okra. And what you've missed here is that I have been stirring this fairly continuously because I've got the heat up pretty high and we don't want it to get overly brown. But as it gets close to being done, you might want to spread it all out and let it sit for a minute so you can have just a little bit of a char on some of the okra to add some flavor. Char is maybe a strong word. Dark brown. Just a little bit. So we've been cooking this about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And what I like to do to see if I decide it's close enough is I'll just take a little piece. I'll try it. It's got a lot of okra flavor, but it doesn't have a lot of sliminess. You're there. And so next we're going to add the tomatoes. So here we have the tomatoes. Again, that's about 2 cups. We're going to add them in all their juice. Right in there. I'm going to turn down the heat just a little to medium high again. And as this starts coming, you know, they're really getting to know each other here in the pan. I'm going to start adding some of my seasonings. Now remember, we just had a few grinds of salt when we first put the okra in. But now we're going to add some more. So I have here some herb salt that I made. This is a Mediterranean herb salt with a fine grind pink salt. And we're just going to sprinkle that over. And this is a mix of herbs that grow in the Mediterranean. We've got oregano, we've got marjoram, we've got thyme, we've got a little bit of basil, we've got some rosemary. So just put a little. And then we're going to add some garlic powder. I'd say about that many shakes. That's probably about half teaspoon. And then we've got some cayenne. Now, you want to be real careful with that because that could get a little out of control.
It smells spicy.
It smells spicy, a little cayenne. So I just got, say, a 1/4 teaspoon here. If you want to skip all that part, you can just use a Cajun seasoning blend like Tony Chachere's. Is that how you say it? I think that's how you say it. Or your favorite slightly spicy seasoning blend.
Cassidy's favorite is Slap Your Mama.
Slap Your Mama. There you go. And maybe you want it real spicy, and that's okay too. I mean, you're making it for you, right?
Exactly.
So we're just mixing these up, and these tomatoes are getting soft. They're starting to really mix together with the okra. And so what we're going to do next is we're going to put in the corn. So this corn is mostly, but not completely, thawed. We're just going to go for it. It's about 2 cups. And we're going to stir this around. And we are going to pretty quickly get to my favorite part, which is the tasting part. And then we decide what else we want to put in it. That's the best part, right?
Always.
Okay, I'm going to turn that down just a little bit so we don't take the tomatoes too far. As the corn is, we really just want to warm it up. We don't want to cook it necessarily. We want it to have a very fresh presence in this dish. And I'm going to get a spoon.
For the tasting.
For the tasting. We're not going to use the spoon that's in the dish. That's not appropriate. That actually tastes pretty dang good. It really does. I think it could use just a little more spice. Not a lot. Just a little. Not quite as much as before. So we're up to not quite half a teaspoon. And you are welcome to measure it with a measuring spoon. Or you can just sprinkle it in. Till it tastes the way you like it. So another thing I like to do with this dish, and I think I'm going to do it here today, is sometimes I like to add a little bit of heavy cream. Because it just brings it all together. And it's really just a little bit, like not even a quarter of a cup. And just stir it around. And once the corn is there, which I think we're pretty much there, we're going to try it. You should get your own spoon.
Okay.
All right. Come try it, sister.
Oh, wow.
You like it?
Mm-hmm. That was really good.
Oh, yeah. It's right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what we want. It's got just a little hit of spice in the back of your throat, a little hit of that cayenne.
Mm-hmm.
I can
So
taste
fresh.
I can taste the herbs. I can taste the tomatoes, the corn, the okra. Let's turn that sucker off.